I'm here. More vitiligo. Today's upload that's my dog. Today's upload is episode this is season 1 episode 9 and season 2 episode 1. So we're jumping to the second season here with Futurama. The first episode is titled "Hell's for the Other Robots." I think something along those lines. I'm probably got it wrong. Maybe I should put a little more effort. But I think I got it right. And then the second episode is which is episode 1 of the second season is A Flight to Remember. Well, of course we're going to talk about them in chronological order. Um uh Hell's for Other Robots. It was actually I have to say it's actually one of the lower ranked episodes for me. I mean, if I could sit back and scrutinize it, it's actually one of the lower ranked episodes. I didn't really enjoy it. Um, as far as introduction goes, I think they could have been better, but you know my problem with it is, I wasn't raised in the church per se, but I went to a Catholic school, so I was raised around that belief system. So um, I'm when I'm bombarded with uh, the theory that maybe there is no God, or maybe there is no Jesus, or maybe there is no saints, or none of those Ten Commandments mean anything. Maybe all that is for nothing. When I'm bombarded with that, that's where I may get a bit sour. But the thing is, if you have an opinion like that, it doesn't bother me. But the fact that you or an individual wants to uh, stand on a mountaintop and scream it to the world that their opinion is right, that I have a problem with. I feel like this episode it's taking a lot of punches at that belief system, but I don't think it's necessarily singled out uh, the Catholic belief or Christian. Is Catholic and Christian the same thing? I don't even know. So I don't know why I'm getting in such a tizzy about it, but it's the fact that that's just the thing that's got me sour about this episode. But I do love the character. It's actually pretty creative. It's the devil robot. Come on, man, that's funny. I mean, I can admit that that's funny. It's a devil robot. That's fun. That's funny. And of course, the devil robot starts he starts singing like some type of musical. That's even funnier. Now that is funny. But I mean, it didn't have anything else other than that, though. That was the main point of the episode, and at the funniest part was the introduction of the devil robot. I mean, he's one of the most, like I said, I have seen this series a few times before, um, but he's one of the probably one of the funnier reoccurring characters in this series. The devil robot, of course. They find him in a abandoned amusement park inside of the what is it? It's like the scary house or the prank house or something like that. I don't know what it's called. That thing has it's 2020. Those things haven't been around since this series was new, since the early 90s. Yeah, since like 20 years ago. Nobody goes to fun houses anymore. I don't think they even exist. I mean, they probably do exist. Let me take that back. Now I'm starting to get way too sour into it, but I don't think, in all honesty, just smell and see if my dog had a little left me a present. um, yeah, but I don't think those things even exist anymore. But it's still the show's still creative, but I just for the reasons I explained earlier, left me a little sour towards this episode. But like I said, it introduced one in my opinion one of the better reoccurring characters, which is the Devil Robot. I still think that's hilarious. Um, in this episode, you mainly see Bender, Fry, and Leela. I don't think anybody else makes stays around too long in the episode. Any other characters? I should say. I don't think any other characters stay around too long in the episode. I still think it's like I think I'm actually leaving out a lot of the episode, but there's actually I think the rest of the episode, in my opinion, probably is just filler. Like it serves no purpose. The only thing was the introduction of the Devil Robot. Um, well, and another to be more honest about it, some of that stuff I probably went over my head. Some of those jokes probably went over my head. As far as I know, he could have been brilliant, but I just couldn't see past that. So it is going to get a lower ranking because of that. But like I said, the introduction of the Devil Robot, it's funny, and it's probably some type of scripture or mythical lore or something like that. Maybe using, hopefully I use that word right. Maybe there's something else behind some of the things they did, like the Devil Robot. Okay, they come, Fry and Leela go down to hell to find Bender and to get his soul back, so to speak. Oh, okay. I apologize. I apologize. So the rest of the episode wasn't filler. The main part of the episode was Bender gets hooked on and they're using it. Okay, Bender gets me before I get too ahead of myself. Bender gets hooked on using um what is it? He gets hooked on what they call it jacking off, but it's not. You see, it's a play on. Is that a play on words? Because like a human being jacking off means something else, or is it jacking up? I don't remember what the word was. It was something funny like that. But he just sticks a jack in there, and he's a robot, so he gets electrocuted, and is simulating heroin use for musicians. That's I picked up on that. It's all over the whole the whole part of the episode. That's all over that part of the episode. Um, but he does it to the point where he almost gets people injured, and including himself. He gets his human and mutant um, co-workers almost killed, and he winds up damaging because he's a robot. He winds up damaging himself. Then he finds God. So I guess it is a pretty funny episode. But like I say, I'm pretty sour about the whole religion shtick. So it's still going to be low. But I like the devil robot, of course. I think that's funny. That wasn't that helpful, was it? Now let's get on to the next episode. It was A Flight to Remember, I think the name of it was. Oh God, I need to write these names down. I think it'd be better if I just write the names down. I should write the names down next time. But anyway, this is uh, first episode of the second season. So at this point, I feel like the writers and animators should be happy they got picked up for another. I'm using jargon like I know what the hell I'm saying, but they should be more comfortable with the series because they know they have another season to work with. So they should be. I guess that's why this episode's a little bit more creative than the last one. But maybe it's all in a. Maybe I'm not looking at the big picture here. The next episode is it a parody or is it a spoof? I think it's a spoof. I don't know. Either or, they're making fun of the movie Titanic and the real life situation Titanic. So, but of course, this episode is also has a spotlight on Bender, and he falls in love with a a female robot. They do all the things that you've seen in the movie. They get in the car instead of the windows getting sweaty, it sparks. And then he he draws a picture of her, but instead of her being nude, it's her head with again the schematics, because that's robot pornography. It's just schematics. It's that I don't think that joke will ever get old. That shit is so hilarious. This episode actually made my day better, to tell you the truth. Um, trying to think what else happened in this episode. You run into the buffoon. Uh, what's his name? Zap Brannigan. This character. He's another recurring character. Zap Brannigan. What was her name? Fry and Leela already. Oh no, yeah. You know what makes this episode way better than the last one? It's so many layers to it because you have the. I'm just gonna call it a spoof at this point. I'm gonna Google that later after I get done with this. I should have did it before. So you have on one layer you have the spoof of Titanic. On another layer you have like like what is it? Is it a 70s or 60s 70s sitcom where Fry has to pretend to be two of his coworkers' husband, so he's getting pulled back and forth into that, and then of course the situation arises where it's like classic TV, where a situation arises where they're all in the room at the same time, and he has to prove that he's in a relationship with both of them at the same time, and just coincidentally something happens to take the pressure off of one and put it on the other. Won't take the pressure off of one, so he only has to perform for one set of people, and it's something that the buffoon captain did. It's making other, and it's tied into the Titanic spoof, and there's something else in there too. Oh man, what am I forgetting? Because I think it was more than two layers though. I feel like it was more than the. I feel like it was more than just the Titanic and the Three's Company reference. I've actually seen episodes of Three Company. No, actually, it's Three's Company 2 or something like that. I've actually seen episodes of that. I think John Ritter was in there. I'm not 100%. Um, but yeah. Um, this episode is much more complex. That's why I'm going to give this a higher score than the last episode. Um, it's quite a bit funnier, too. There's a lot more jokes in it. If I could just remember all of them. Oh yeah, Bender goes back to save. He's actually falling in love with. He's actually falling in love with the perceived well-to-do robot, and he goes back to save her. He's like, oh, and she's in like she's falling into one of the cabins. He's like, oh my love, are you all right? She's like, I'm fine. When a family broke my fall. I'm like, oh god. See, I'm butchering it, but it's actually hilarious because she's a robot. She fell through the roof and she killed the whole family. And he's asking her, is she all right? She's like, I'm fine. A family broke my fall. Oh god, that's funny. Um, then they do the whole stick and everybody gets on the skate pod. Everybody gets off the ship, and these two are the stragglers. They're hanging on to the end. She lets go to let everybody else actually continue to go to safety because her extra weight was holding down the escape pod. And, Bender's like crying or whatever you want to call it. And, but he has like this really expensive, I guess it's a bracelet with a really big diamond on there. And like it's, in real life, the diamond is, I don't think they've found, I don't think they've found a diamond, uh, even in the rough that size, and then been able to cut it and polish it in that manner. So if I saw it in real life, something like that, I'd be like, oh, that's just a crystal. But Bender thinks it's real. And then Hermes, another character, he's called a bureaucrat. You gotta look that up. That's a play from, I believe I believe his whole character is a play from some type of it's something that everybody has to deal with in real life, like a person that just that follows not necessarily follows the rules, but enforces the rules. And I also think it's from a very well, I wouldn't say popular, but it's from a book called 1984, The Bureaucrats. But I'm getting off topic. So So he also is a Olympic limbo champion, which is like he stopped limboing because I know I should be laughing, but it's so funny. He stops limboing because at the Olympics, a kid tried to emulate him and wind up breaking his spine and killing himself. I know, I'm laughing at just death. It's like I know, but the way they portray it in the show is hilarious. That's why I say it's worth a watch, even if you're not doing anything. Now I know it's a lot to ask somebody in today's day and age. Hey, it's worth a watch. Go ahead and watch it. You should watch this. You should watch that. There's literally hundreds of thousands of hours of programmed uh, TV and movies that are available to you on these streaming services. So if somebody's watching this and they're like, sure, I'm going to put it on my queue or my to watch list, whatever. It's never going to get watched. But I'm telling you, as far as American based animated series uh, geared or pitched or catered to adults, this is by far one of the best. Maybe one day I'll do an upload comparing other animated shows to this one and giving you a full explanation on why I think this is the best animated show ever. Second episode I rate pretty high. First episode I don't. Tomorrow I'm gonna have two movie reviews for you.